Hello, here we have the frequency by JayCoal in CS2. I really like this map, and not necessarily this version, but the earlier versions of this map. I'll be going through some of the things that I like and some of the things that I don't like, and certainly one of the things that I don't like is the lack of cube map. So place down the cube map plus combined light probe volume. You place down the entity, and then you put the cube map where you want the reflections to be calculated from, and then you just stretch the volume over the space that you want the reflections to be used in. I guess for a gray box, you can just like stretch out one. Remember to bake your cube maps and build them on compile. With the technical stuff out of the way, let's get to the layout. I want to give you a quick overlook of the radar and the layout. I guess there's no radar right at the moment, so I guess we'll have to do it like that. So following right hand side from the T-spawn, we end up at this like lobby-esque area. To the left we have mid. To the right we follow this windy passage. We end up at the red door of doom, and here we are at the outside of A-bomb site. Here's a middle entrance. There's a back CT over here, and that's the bomb site between the orange orange shapes, I guess. Let's get back to the lobby area. Follow the path to the left. Here's mid. Here's an upper T entrance. Here's the main entrance, and here we have a little secret. And then following through the main. Here's the A-bomb site again. Let's go back to T-spawn. Follow the path to the left. Here used to be an entrance. There's a split. There's the trash bin junkyard area, as I like to call it. Then we have the upper T entrance, or like upper mid entrance. Then following back to the junkyard, we have B main over here. This is B site. We have B lower and B heaven. Excuse me, I had to clear my throat. Here's heaven. There's a ladder. We'll be getting to that soon. There's a back CT. And again, we're outside A. Back CT goes like so. Goes lower. Heaven. Yeah. Let's go back to mid. Follow the secret path. Red barrels. Ooh, another ladder. Well, this is the same ladder that goes up to CT. See? And it connects lower and upper. CT's over here, and heaven. I mean, not CT, but CT heaven. And then we go back down to the ladder, and you might have guessed it, this connects the B lower path. Let's get to the first fixes. Actually, let's get to the layout first, since those are fresh in your memory as of now. I want to make a point about the layout structure. Still, the rotations have been the biggest issue of the map, and there's still an air of rotation timing being a little bit of an issue. You can see it in how the main B is over there, and then A main is over there. So there's going to be an air of terrorists just running around the T-spawn, unless they want to take the mid every round and build their rotation momentum based on that. There is a cool dynamic, was a cool dynamic with the older maps having the two mid entrances like next to each other, like over here and there, and then CTs would peek up like this in the middle to cover the rotation of the terrorists. Fix this, there's a little gap here. I want to see that return, and I want to see that return in a greater sense of exactly repeating the T entrance being here, T entrance being here, and then this secret entrance being shifted over to this side. In a way that CTs can now peek from the upper short entrance like so into the T main and cover the crossing rotation. Like this would be the fastest way to rotate between the bomb sites, not the T-spawn. T-spawn would be safer, this would be faster, right? Nice contrast. Let's get to the second issue of the map. So the secret now you have to bypass the main mid angle. CTs would be always covering this area as it is like the main path to the bomb site, with this being the second most favored. This also happens to have the connection to the B next to it. I don't like this setup at all. It forces the players to get two areas that are necessarily not in their like focus point of interest. Like imagine like you having to take lower mid on Dust 2 or like B short on Mirage to be able to use connector. CTs will be playing in here, so that this will be an area that they have to take up until here. And like, what's the point of even going back to B when you already have A? It's like DE Crown, guys. If you remember that map from CS:GO's past by Volcano and FM Pwn. That map had also a certain flaw in it, as you had to bypass entrance to A to get to B. That's not necessarily a flaw from pathing side of things. It's just like also kind of a philosophical question, like why to be or not to be, I guess. And you know, but the real gameplay issue comes from, let's pull up paint.net over here. I have a little example made out of the pathing and routing. So in maps like Nuke, in maps like Mirage, there's enough space in this area. In Nuke, you have the whole of outside, like so. In this map, that area is like this. You can already see, and also Nuke has ramp. It's all about creating space for yourself as a terrorist to create a question on the counter-terrorist's mind. This is CT question mark. Huh? It's all about creating space to make the counter-terrorists ask themselves, where are we going with the terrorist positioning, and then allocating the players around the map so that you can cover the bomb site take and then win the round by killing the T team or defusing the bomb. Yeah, and then the terrorists are trying to do the exact opposite thing, killing the CT team and then planting the bomb and making it blow up. You know, in this map, you don't have that space. You can use this space to hold off of a CT push and control mid, but you're not doing anything with this space. You're taking A, but you're not taking B. And if you get to pass, this is also hella awkward. Like, how are you able to, without relying 100% on utility, how are you able to cover all these positions? This would just like flow in such a more natural way if this was over here. And you're covered from everything else, and you can have like a peace of mind when pushing into here, and then, you know, peeking down lower, and then just like pushing it like this. And then CTs would also, like, I don't know if you could make some sort of a wallbang window here, and then like some sort of a little bit deeper position here that you could play against any players coming up or like trying to push in. There would be also an interesting dynamic of CTs wanting to push top mid like this to take short under control over from like lower mid, and then you could have a player in the pit playing like this, playing short. You know, it's such an interesting thing that you don't really have. You cannot have that right now, as you're gonna get flanked as a CT by a terrorist just like pushing their normal entrance. I don't see the value in having this mid setup like that. But yeah, going back to the point of terrorists taking mid, they have mid up until here, and then it just becomes a situation where our terrorists push our terrorists through the mid choke point or not. But it doesn't work in the same way as Anubis does, because in Anubis the terrorists have that whole water area to have, like, they have one more connection point. Imagine like here, this connecting back to like here or whatever, and then there being like one more choke point, like a sight line over here that they could fight. That would be like the one way to make this more like Anubis, and then this would have the same effect of being straight route to A and straight route to CT / back B. But this map is missing the map space and the connection point. Yeah. Couple other things. A heaven. I'm sorry. B heaven. This wall needs to go. I think there's already enough of a cool opportunity with having a CT sniper. Let me find my sniper. I cannot buy them anymore. Jesus Christ. Having a CT sniper set up here would be way better than having them push up here. There's a couple of issues I find with this wall-bangable wall. With CT peeking like this. They take the shot. They're just gonna get wall-banged to death. And they're gonna get mollied to death. The molly spreads in a way that it engulfs the whole area, and there's like, you know, you have to retreat way, way, way back. As if this wall didn't exist, now the T's would have to either molly this or molly deep, and there's still space to then push up. Like, if this wall didn't exist, there's still space to then, like, jump out and then play from up here. And then you could have, like, one of these barrels to have a little bit more cover. Yeah, and also another issue with the smoke. You know, smoke takes up the entire space. With the smoke, or like with this wall not being there, you know, this is very bad. You have to follow the smoke and the path and you end up at the same space. Excuse me, you end up at the same position every round, every time. But if the wall wasn't there, you could then jump straight to the bomb site, and that would be like kind of fun to do. Try and test your luck there a little bit on the take. I tested timings a little bit. The choke point for the B bomb site seems to be over here, which I don't agree at all. I think terrorists, or rather CTs, should have a little bit of a buffer zone with as a choke point is meant to be set up. You can do it with moving this dumpster in the middle, creating kind of a donut, which then you could choose which side of the donut you smoke and which side you contest. And then it could create kind of a nice situation as a T side. You could also boost up onto the dumpster to clear the back area. Yeah, it would be such a cool setup to have. And also the dumpster would create double angle, and as a CT you are naturally you know, met with a decision. Do you want to hold back and then face two angles? Or do you want to hold way back and then hold one angle? Or do you want to push up and then make those two angles just one angle with aggression holding this? That sort of dynamic is also missing from the map. A main, I like this being so simple, but I would go way harder on making this area a little bit more complex. You could even like split this up, like make one stack of crates here that would make like two angles of interest, and then introduce the squeaky door back. I think that was a very cool dynamic of having the squeaky door here as the main entrance to the bomb site. You don't really see that having or being used in any other map except for like Disparity having like the main bomb site entrance being a squeaky door. That would be really cool to have. Shout out Disparity. Anyway, bomb site seems clear. Seems simple enough. But yeah, my main criticisms are just with the used player space, used map space, being so cramped, and you don't really have a strategic depth in controlling specific areas of the map, splitting up the map control into specific parts. Now it's just tube. It's the Anubis without the whole water area. That's my essay. Thanks for listening to this little ramble. Alright, catch you in a playlist, catch you in a comment section of a video. Thanks for watching. Drink lots of water. I know damn sure that I haven't. That might be the reason why I'm kind of stuttering. It's hard to speak. Cool, wallbang. Anyway, catch you guys later. Thanks for watching.